Live. We're live now.
Whoop, whoop, woo, whoop, whoop, woo.
Oh, yes.
So we are live on Instagram. No, we are live on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, we are indeed. And we have our first friend join us, but I have no idea who it is. So, our lovely friends, when you're here, give us a show of hands so we can say hello. We can blow you a little kiss. I can't
see. So I don't know about you, but my hay fever has just been absolutely out of control, Margie.
Yeah, mine too. I haven't had it for years, and right now it's getting a little bit bad.
So bad. I just can't. I can't believe how bad it is.
Oh. We have Thomas just joined us. We have Mark. Hello, Marky D, and we have Steve and Lee. Hello everyone. It's really, really lovely to see you and Joanna.
Cool. Has Lee got a go back onto Lee for a second? Has he got a Sinatra signature?
He does. Actually. Yes, he does. That's brilliant. Where did you get that from, Lee? Oh, bless you, Tutu. And we have Heath. We have Teresa. Hello, darling.
Oh, Teresa.
Hello, Jessica. And yeah. So how's everybody doing? Hello, Josie. Lovely, lovely, lovely Josie.
Hi. So yeah, my hay fever is atrocious. I can't stop sniffing. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I need a lot of blessings today. I have been driving in the country. We went down to me and the flatmate to the flatmate. I say it like the wife. To we went to Brighton to stay in our lovely friend's house, who is away in Mallorca for they've been there for 2 months already. So it was really nice just to get some. Well, I thought it was going to be really lovely getting some country air and filling my lungs, but in fact, I ended up having the most insane allergic reaction.
Oh dear.
My eyelids doubled in size because we're driving down in my little Mazda, with the top down, this ancient old car, which has no filtration system either. So it's just the full on countryside, the British countryside, just going into my car and in every stick Vaseline. That's a great idea, Josie. I've heard that before. Why did I not think of that? Yes, because it traps the pollen. Apparently it sticks to it.
That is actually really clever.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Face. Love that, Lee. That's excellent. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, very clever, Lee.
So basically, I had to go to the night pharmacy and get antihistamine eye drops, nose spray. I already had the antihistamine pills, of course, but it was just horrible, and it really ruined my time away. And I was so looking forward to getting out of London for the first time in how many months now?
Oh, many. It's only actually been 3 months?
That's
in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. But you do lose the habit of seeing people, don't you? I've heard of people who've been going through this on their own, which I can't even imagine, and they're now scared of going out, and it's not just scared of the virus, it's scared in general of
just what is normality, how do you socialize, how do you it's been a really crazy time in the entire world. It's been a crazy time in the internal world for everyone in some capacity, people, whether we're conscious to it or not, we've gone through something as a global consciousness. And I think I've just been incredibly sad in the last couple of days. Not that I could possibly even understand what has happened in America with the murder of that amazing guy who just should never have. Anyway, I can't go into it.
So nobody should ever be murdered.
It's full murder, full stop. But it's making me so sad, and I'm my heart is so full of pain with the way that my friends of color are just heartbroken. And of course, everyone's heartbroken, but their heartbreak is like so palpable, and it's just been so sad. I'm just so sad watching it unfold, and just want to sort of step up and be as good a citizen as I can to my brothers and sisters of all colours across the world. You know, it's an interesting time for it to come after we've just spent sort of 3 months with ourselves. So I don't know about you, and I don't know about anyone else, but it's sparked an internal viewing process, which can only be a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. James says this is a cause that hits me deep, and of course, it's. I was reluctant to talk about it just because I think it would be a shame if the conversation divided. I think that this is the kind of conversation where everybody has to be united, and we have to find a way of talking about this.
Yeah. And I think it's happening because it's coming from a different place this time. It feels like it's coming from a place of desperate compassion.
Yes. Yeah, it's true.
This isn't politics. This isn't any kind of argument or debate. This is just human compassion, like really, you know, the heart of it, the real center.
It needs to be politics as well, because things need to change.
Absolutely. But this conversation that we're having isn't about that, because that is where we see a divide, and I'm not about that, and neither are you, in a forum like this. But in our own lives, and I know you do, Marchi, and I do, and I'm sure loads of our gorgeous fans and viewers and stuff do the same. But in our own lives, of course, it has to be about way more practical things. But I just wanted to out it and just express my deep sadness.
Yes, and you're absolutely right. It's not just this one tragedy, it's the tragedy of it. I mean, I was listening to somebody whom I have a lot of respect for, and that's Trevor Noah, who is a comedian, but he is an incredibly intelligent and articulate man. And he was talking about it today, talking about how this murder has come hot on the heel of another event that happened in New York. And that was a man who'd gone bird watching, and suddenly this woman starts, like, he asks the woman, quite rightly, to put her dog on a leash, because I believe that is the way that is what the law demands in that park. So she was actually contravening the law. He pointed it out, and that started a chain of events.
Yeah.
And thankfully that went well, because he was very proactive in defending himself. But I think that is also something that reminded people that things that get denied often are actually true, and they happen all the time. Therefore, people's emotions were already very high.
Yes.
And then this murder happened, and that is causing something which is horrendous at the moment in the United States. And everybody is incredibly sad. And all I can say is that I truly, truly can see how it wouldn't be difficult to have a world where everybody is safe and valued, and everybody can thrive. It is what we must work towards, and the only conversation that we should be having is, how can we make it happen? I mean, that world, everybody should be absolutely entitled to their own views, as long as there's a conversation, as long as nobody, and as long as whoever holds the view doesn't hold a view that imperils or diminishes anybody else. So it has to be, we have to have a conversation, but we have to have a conversation about how we can bring about the world that we all want. Because we all want a world where everybody is equal, where everybody is safe, where everybody can thrive. I don't imagine that anybody would disagree with that.
No, I don't either. I think that the most brilliant thing about what's happening right now in the internet conversation, which is all we really have because of what's going on with our world in terms of the pandemic, is comments like what Josie's just put there, saying things that we've not said before, naming things we've not named before, outing things in a way that, regardless of whether we understand, or maybe we might get it wrong, or maybe we need to be educated, maybe we need to request from people that know more, we're starting to say them. And that's been my thing. Like, I've had a fear around asking my friends of color, how am I contributing, or what's the word when you pull back, contribute, when
or not contribute to
the contributing,
abstain from
being a block in some capacity, because actually with my privilege of being white and being born into a nice life, I have a privilege that I'm not even conscious of, so I need to ask about it, make it visible to me, and I'm committing to doing that work, because I don't want to be an unconscious person. That sucks for me. That makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like that. And so I want to ask questions that are really actually quite uncomfortable and confronting, and I want to do it in a way that outs my ignorance and request that I get help into being less so. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's also no need to even, I mean, I'm sure that some people will want to say that you or I are ignorant. We all are. And it's not about pointing out the ignorance. It's about, like, you know what, tell me if I'm doing something wrong, and I promise that I will stop and I will never ever do it again. And what can we do to also change the way that the whole society, the way that children are taught things. It has to change. How can it change? Jules is saying she no longer feels safe out with all this hatred about. Well, Jules, there is, I mean, right now there is so much emotion. Like, everybody is just like, we've been going through so much already this year, and it's right now it's not, hopefully it's not normal. Like, we're not in normal circumstances, and hopefully we will, when we all feel a little bit safer, things will go back to being a little bit less threatening for everybody. But I understand that anybody who sticks out, anybody who's out of the norm, will, like, it needs, Jules needs to feel safe. And Josie's grandchildren need to feel safe. It's just, we need to make sure, but not just with conversations, we need to make sure that we do it with our political voices, I think. And our political voices at a low level, not just when there's presidential elections or we elect a new government, but all the time. We need to have a voice in everything, in all policies, because that's how we shape the world. Because that is how, if we were still living in a village, it would be through a show of hands that decisions are made if that village was run democratically. And that is the same way. So if you then start having a voice in everything that goes on, then you can change. That is how you change the world. I don't think that it can be done in any other way. It needs to be done through constant engagement.
It's so much. I hear you, and I also am on the other side of that coin, where my desire to, like, laziness and fear of confrontation have stunted me in being that person for a lot of my life. you know, in some areas as well. And it's not really enough anymore. And hearing you talk about it and hearing my friends all over the world be bold enough, like what Chloe's saying, being bold enough to talk about it from a heartfelt place, from a heart-centered place, is the inspiration to sort of encourage people that have been scared like me, that it's okay to wonder if you're going to get it wrong and maybe get it wrong. And that's where the permission to start having a voice and exploring what your own opinions and your own voice is comes from, in my opinion. Because without knowing that it's okay to get it wrong, sometimes it's just better to not start, or so your belief can be. Do you know what I mean, Marcella?
Right. Yeah, that is true. That is very, very true.
I just want to say a little something. I know obviously we're talking about some heavy shit, and I will sing you a song in a minute. But yeah, Joanna obviously put that comment there. She's signing up and safely thought it would be about music. Wish all good, all love. And I think, and Marcella and me had this conversation before. We normally are just here to spark joy and bring you escapism and bring you this glamorous access into music and the music that we do. But why I feel that it's important just to bring this up as an acknowledgement of what's going on, and just to state our compassion and our deep sadness and, you know, everything we're saying, is for me, because our music is actually of Black origin. So for me personally, it would be painful and uncomfortable and inauthentic to not express what we've just been expressing for the last 15 minutes of our lives and your lives. To then move into, you know, I'm going to sing you a Billie Holiday song tonight. So it's really important to just, you know, out that and name that with respect. And yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the comments. To out it and name it with respect, because without that, and without that Black struggle and all of the things that are now coming up in a big roaring wave of sadness and in acceptance for it to continue, we won't have our music. So we won't be here singing new Billie Holiday songs, or, you know, any of this gorgeous music from that vintage era. Exactly like what Stephanie said, vintage style, not vintage values. Preach. Yeah, that's my stance, and I know you agree with me, Margie. It's yeah. Thank you, Kyle. Like, these are gorgeous comments, just encouraging us to say this stuff, and it's really, really warming. And yeah, we feel supported in this, and having this conversation with you, it's really, really cool. It's cool.
Yeah, and actually that's a great point that Kyle is making, that people's lives are more important than music. Always.
Thank you. Yeah.
And of course we all go back to the music.
Yeah.
We're all about the music, but we're also people, your people. Like, we're all, we can't. It's true, you know. I'm always hesitant to get into these conversations, because I'm hesitant to get into conversations that have the potential to get toxic and unproductive.
Yeah.
But actually, credit to everybody here in this conversation.
Yeah.
No matter what, everybody is absolutely wonderful, and everybody, you know, everybody here is able to have a conversation, which is wonderful to see.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, and I think the bravery that it takes to actually start this conversation, for everyone that's commenting, and for Marcella and I, just to take a minute to acknowledge that this is part of the process, and we're part of it now, part of this global conversation, and that's the beginning phase, the beginning step, isn't it? Just to participate, and I think to do it with bravery and humility. From the never will we be able to understand, purely because of the color of our skin, how mental is that has to be said as well, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Jules is saying, watched the program on Ella Fitzgerald, terrible racism leveled at her. Yeah, I mean, back in those days, Black artists would not be able to enter via the front door.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, how crazy is that? The first Black woman to win an Oscar had to wait outside in case she didn't win, and she was only allowed to enter the room to collect her Oscar once she won, and then had to leave again. I mean, really, it's why?
That really, it's so sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but it's important to feel the sadness, but I still think it's also important to concentrate on the vision, on a different vision, and concentrate on making it happen.
Absolutely, action. Marcie, just on like a kind of side note within this subject. So here in the UK, guys, like there's, I'm sure it's happening all over the world as well. There's like peaceful protests, so that are scheduled like Wednesday, and I can't remember. It's on Instagram and stuff. It's everywhere. Is it? So obviously, like I saw some videos in like LA, and everyone's like super close to each other, and I'm like kind of confused as to what's going on in regards to like staying healthy in like the COVID thing. Like, are you? How do you feel about that? I know this is probably like a more practical question that I could have just texted you.
Well, honestly, I think I really do think that people should still be careful. I was listening to the radio this morning, and the NHS are saying specifically that, well, they're saying that actually the loosening of the restrictions has come way before we were ready, because they were saying, well, the rate of infections isn't going down, therefore why are we reopening things? I mean, it's understandable that people need to go back to work, and that is the reason. But other activities like congregating on beaches and stuff like that, why are those allowed? And why are we not? Why are we now thinking that we shouldn't be distancing anymore? We should. Therefore, peacefully protesting is wonderful, but we need to be careful. We need to, and perhaps there should be peaceful protests online right now, honestly, because you don't want to endanger yourself or other people. We don't know if we're healthy. So I think that whoever is going should be very, very, very careful.
It's a really hard one. I want to stand, you know, with my friends that are going, and I want to stand next to them, and I want to embrace people. I want to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just that I'm like in a bit of a torment about that. So if anyone that's watching this, you know, later or now or anything has anything to say about it, that'd be really interesting to hear your perspectives too, because, you know, we need to protest and we need to stand up and make our voices and our bodies visible. Yeah, I'm just unsure. So I just don't know whether I'm going to be going or not.
I just wonder if perhaps one thing that could be suggested to the organisers of the protests is if we could do them the same way as what we've been doing, clapping for the NHS. So, you know, I'm sure that many, many, many people want to protest, and it could be done from our streets, our own streets. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a really interesting idea, Marcie.
Yeah,
that's a lovely message there from Kyle.
That's a wonderful message. Thank you, Kyle. And
I was a bit nervous, you know. I was a bit nervous to have this conversation.
Yeah, me too. Me too. John just reminded us that the actress who, sorry, I've just put up the wrong post, that the actress who won the Oscar was Hattie McDaniel for Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, and that was the late 40s or 19. I think it might have been 1950. I mean, that's not such a long time ago. Yeah. So we all agree that things need to change.
Did Gone with the Wind have the song Gone with the Wind? I know that sounds like a silly question. Just like a leaf that's blown away, gone with the wind.
I don't
Did it have that in it?
I really don't think so. The song from Gone with the Wind is the one that goes la la da da, la la da da.
What other songs are from Gone with the Wind? Let me Google it. I thought Gone with the Wind would have been from Gone with the Wind.
I really don't think so. I could be entirely wrong.
Musical? God, everyone's going to be so fuming that I don't know this. I should really know this.
I was entirely wrong about the year. It was actually 1939. Still.
You know what? It's not even a musical. What's wrong with me? So... Whoopsie.
Oh, so you haven't seen it? You must watch it. It's such a brilliant movie. It's such a classic.
I watched Judy last night. Has anyone seen Judy?
No.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Renee Zellweger, she's so good in it. She's absolutely incredible. She won an Oscar for it. She just portrays Judy so well. Everyone should watch that tonight if they fancy, if it's movie night in their house.
Definitely. And it seems to be that the consensus here amongst everybody is that it's way too soon to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's a bit shocking what I've seen. Yeah.
Lou is saying that far too many people are no longer interested in COVID-19. Yeah. I mean, I get it. We want to believe that we've gone back to normal, but it's crazy. We can't.
Yeah, it's
that we have not.
I can't believe I haven't been on the tube for so long. I want to read this message out from what Jules has said here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different thing, but I talk about trans awareness, putting myself in a dangerous situation, but will never give up. Yeah. Martin Luther King was my hero. If you could stand up for human rights, so can I. It's giving me goosebumps, actually, Jules.
Absolutely.
And we just want to acknowledge you for your bravery, even putting that into this forum and into this comments box, because it is no easy feat. And to start standing up for yourselves, we stand up for you, and many more people all over this world are standing up bit by bit, and your visibility is what is making that possible. So we salute you. Proper.
Absolutely. And because you're incredibly brave, Jules, to be seen.
Yeah, the visibility is just
it is important.
Can you imagine, because we just don't have that. We don't have those thoughts. We don't have that worry when we leave the house. It's just, it's so inspiring. All of you lot that are being visible in your differences, and it's so cool, and it allows us to learn and to grow and to feel like we have a home and a purpose to stand next to you. So yeah, come on, let's have it.
Yeah. Yes. What is
Also, start putting your song requests in the comments box. I have got one backed up, but if you do have something in particular.
Okay, right. I think it might be time for a song then.
Is it?
I think so.
What Mark's written there, that's a quote, isn't it? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. That's a quote from Gone with the Wind. I feel like I can see it in my head.
Yes.
Two faces. Yes. Kelvin saying, you rock, Jules. Yes.
That's wonderful to see.
Oh, fabulous, Josie. I love
it. Send us a proper big photo, Josie. Send it in Pupini Parlor. We want to see it.
Yeah.
What's Lou saying? I'm 61 and it's great to see gay folk being able to live better and be themselves and not hide. Absolutely. I still cannot comprehend why anybody should have to hide.
They are.
And who says who's right? And it makes me mad. It infuriates me. And we're going to change it. We are change. Everybody is changing it.
Yeah.
Just remember Typhoid Mary, the silent carrier of typhoid, eventually traced as a carrier, locked up for 23 years. Don't be a silent carrier. Absolutely, Mark. And Teresa says, we know exactly how Jules feels, but definitely say we always feel safe and loved at your gigs, ladies. Well, that's because we love you. That's
I love that message, Teresa. Teresa and Jessica, you are rock stars.
All right. So we have a request from Jules, Mashkanada.
I'm going to start with the Billie Holiday song that I was going to sing for you. Mashkanada, my Portuguese. Have I done that before? I think I have. Haven't I? My tone of Portuguese. So,
like in Emma Portuguese.
Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Oh, your mama may have, and your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. Oh, got his own. Yeah, the strong getting old, while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't seem to make the grade. No, no, no. Your mama may have, and your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. Oh, that's got his own. When you got money, you've got a lot of friends. They are always hanging around your door. Oh, no, no. When your money's gone and the spending ends, they just don't come around anymore. No, no. I said your rich relations give a crust of bread and such, singing you can help yourself, but don't you dare take too much. No, your mama may have, and your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. Ooh, I sing it again, say God bless the child that's got his own. Oh yeah, oh you know that God bless the child that's God is own.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Really cool. Yeah, we have a lot of love for that.
Thank you.
Teresa says, I don't need to tell you which song I would like. I think she's referring to Shallow.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to do that as well?
I don't know, maybe. It's kind of a bit of a... Oh, you guys.
Yeah, I think they liked it. Oh, Lou is saying Emma is coloured. She's purple.
I'm super, super influenced by that beautiful music from Billie Holiday. How lucky were we to have these artists in history to sing and inspire us like that? I mean, imagine what I would sing like. Imagine what we would all sing like. How boring our
would be.
Would be.
We'd still be on the Oompa. I mean, I come from Oompa, from Italy. We're very much like we'll still be on that.
Oh, thank you guys. Such lovely, lovely messages. Hi, Jane. Thank you for your comment. Shallow. Oh my God. I need to get the lyrics up. I know we've recorded it on an album.
While you're looking it up, I'm going to do a tiny little bit of an Italian song.
Yes, please.
A song from Naples.
Yes.
And the reason that I I'm thinking about it right now is because in Italy we have a divide between the north and the south, and the south is much poorer, and people from the south of Italy, especially during this period, during the coronavirus period, have got a lot of like insulting criticism online, and I don't know exactly what it's about. I've just caught little bits and pieces. People saying, "Oh, people from the south are lazy and they don't work," and you know the usual story about benefit cheats and blah blah blah, and that thing that we all hear so much these days. Mm-hmm. And what people from the south usually respond is, well, we've been raped and pillaged by the north, so don't you know, start looking at yourself a little bit, and don't and also look at the incredible wealth of culture and hardworking people that are in the south. So this song is called Napule, and I don't know it terribly well, so I'm just going to sing it.
Can you just translate us the lyrics before you sing it so we can think about it while you're singing it?
Yeah, so the song is not really, it's not political, it's not about anything, it's not a protest song or anything, it's just about what Napoli is. And so it just describes it, and it's in a little bit in Neapolitan dialect, so which I don't speak. But it says Napoli is a million colors. It's a million fears. It's the voice of children that rises slowly, and it gets me tearful straight away. And you know that you're not alone. And it's description after description. Napoli is a walk on the streets, on the little side streets, again amongst children, because when this was written, a lot of kids were just roaming the streets freely, because the parents are, parents are at work and they can't afford to get childcare. This city is it's dirt and nobody cares. So it just describes all of the things that it is that are incredibly beautiful and incredibly ugly and heartbreaking, but with the idea that they're the same as everybody. We're all people. So it goes Napole mille colore, Napole mille paure, Napole voce de creatura che sale piano piano e tu sai che non sei sola. Napoli è una carta smanata, dinte vighe mezz'annata. Napoli è una carta sporca e nessuno se ne importa, e tu fai accetta shorta. And then it carries on like that.
Oh, it's beautiful, the melody.
Gorgeous song, and I love that. I love the sentiment, and it always gets me. So there you are.
That's gorgeous. Comments here, beautiful. So am I really going to sing this song?
Yes, go on, do it.
Did we do it in the same key as the original?
I think we do it in D flat. No. Tell me something, boy. Are you happy? I think it's there.
Okay, I'm trying to get a backing track. Bear with. Here, everyone. Now, shall I use our backing track, or shall I just use a backing track from the internet?
No, use ours. Ours is better.
Much better.
Do you have it handy?
I think so. Would you have sent it on email most recently?
I can't remember.
Oh, sorry, everyone. Boring.
I can email it to you now if you want.
Patreon songs.
Sorry, everyone. Just little bit of organizing. No, slight bit of organizing.
What happens when you request songs that we've got backing tracks to?
Yeah. Send an email. It's gonna happen, just not quickly.
How's everyone doing? What's everyone having for dinner? How about that? Let's have a little lovely, a little sidestep into some delicious dinner things. I'm going to try and be really healthy today. I've had an omelette with mushrooms and feta for lunch, and for dinner. Oh, I know this sounds super punishing, but I should probably just have like some chicken soup because I ate so much yesterday. And I mean, everyone.
What did you eat? Talk us through it.
Beef, lamb. We had a roast. Beef, lamb, all the crispy potatoes.
Wow.
Ridiculous cauliflower cheese that was just like so much cheese in this cauliflower cheese. It was not even funny. Yorkshire puddings. I mean, I can't even think of everything that we ate. It was just absolutely just so much. So I'm just thinking today I should probably just, eat air.
Yeah, that never works like that though.
No, exactly. I'm probably going to have soup with gyoza in it. I've got some dumplings in the freezer from the ones from Itsu, which are delicious. Okay, you might need to help count me in if I forget this. So what's it called? Shallow?
Yes.
Can you still see me? Because I've got the lyrics up here.
What? Yeah, you're there. Kevin, like I'll have a chat with Kevin while you set it up. Kevin had.
That pudding's my favourite.
Yeah, I know. I'm crazy about it.
Oh, especially the one in Scotland, which is all like oaty and like bits of delicious chunky oats in it.
Oh, stop it,
Thomas! You must eat something.
What for? Mark apologizes to vegans. Yeah, I apologize too. Curry for Josie. That sounds delicious.
Yum.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have steak too tonight. Surprise, surprise.
Can you hear the backing track?
Yeah, it's now.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times, I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard to keep it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the bad times, I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times, I feel myself. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in, so I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. No, I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shadow, in the shadow, in the shadow, we're far from the shadow now. In the shadow, in the shadow, in the shadow, we're far from the shadow now. Woo!
Yeah,
Thanks.
that went down pretty damn well too.
I'm just looking through because I was busy staring at the lyrics.
Jules wants to find someone to dance with, and Lou's brain is swooning into gooey mush.
Oh, yay! I hope it didn't peak when I went for the big notes.
No, it didn't actually, not at all. Kelvin is saying, no live gigs to see you ladies, but here you are singing for us, just wonderful. And remember, we are doing a live gig in September, which you will have to see from the comfort of your homes. But yeah, it's going to be a whole concert.
That is going to be probably, emotional. Thank you so much. Oh, Teresa, I'm so glad I sang that for you.
Oh.
I'm a little apprehensive, but it's worth it to see that reaction. Thank you so much. Oh, just let it move you. Music is so moving. Music is a catalyst for just being in your human experience and feeling all the feelings and letting them come up sometimes when they don't come up without music. You know, sometimes just like chatting and being silent is too easy to ignore the truth of the feelings. And I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you and good night. But that gig, I just want to plug that gig a little bit hard actually, because that's going to be the first time in Papini history that we haven't sung together for so long. Yeah. So I just want to make a point to everybody who is watching that we are gagging to sing together, and it's going to be a magical gig, and you have to be there because it's going to be historic for the Papini sisters. It's the biggest build up for any gig. Even I'm talking Buble, I'm talking, you know, This feels like a much more monumentous and special occasion because we're so desperate to sing together right now, aren't we?
We are. It's going to be, I mean, of course, hopefully we'll, no, it is just going to happen no matter what.
Oh yeah, it absolutely can happen. It can happen. And I think, like, I mean, let us know otherwise, but we kind of getting the feeling that you guys are up for it.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. All right, my friends, I think it might be time to go and, well, for me to go and do some yoga. What are you doing now, Fifi?
I'm going to go and have some dinner, and I'm going to watch some Russell Brand talks online.
Excellent. That is a very good activity.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. I shall see you, everybody, tomorrow.
And me.
You on Monday, same place, same time. And everybody, stay safe, stay well, stay happy, and stay positive. We are going to have a better world.
Yeah, and let's keep talking to each other. Let's keep this conversation going because it's gorgeous. And this has been my favorite live stream we've done. And I know we talked about, you know, we didn't do any singing until the end, but thank you for sticking with us. And I hope that the singing at the end, you know, is sort of put a nice ending to this live stream because it's been really special for me. I don't know about you, Marchi, but it's been a special one.
Yeah, me too.
So thank you everyone for being here. Mwah! Lots and lots of love. Love.
Yay!
Amen up in here. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.